Alright, what's going on everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another Sunday stock watch, as I just remembered that I had my HDMI cord plugged in, so hopefully that didn't mess with anything. Let me double check really quick. Okay, so I'll just restart that. But like I said, how's it going everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another Sunday stock watch. First and foremost, if you're new to the channel, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button below if you haven't already. We'd love to add you to our community, a bunch of like-minded people. We're coming up on 425 subscribers fast. That's awesome stuff. Always looking to just network with a bunch of like-minded individuals. And by the way, as I mentioned in the description box, for those of you that pay attention to that, if you subscribe right now, and well, not right now, but you know what I'm saying, like we're coming up on 500 subscribers, so if I can hit 500 subscribers by the end of the year, which I think is a somewhat realistic goal, I'm getting about one a day, so if I get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year, as just kind of holiday spirit thing and whatnot, I will send you someone, I will select someone who's active in the chat and whatnot, the Millionaire Booklet by Grant Cardone, which you can get for free anyways. I mean, he'll send it to you. And then I'll also send you Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk. I've read it already. It's an awesome book. It's changed my life. And if you haven't read it already, it's an awesome book. But I'll send you both of them, or not you directly, but I'll choose somebody. I'll pick a winner once we get to 500 subscribers, if we get to that by the end of the year. So you can say I'm bribing people if you want. I'm really not. It's just I've read the books already, and I just like passing information on to people. I know that not everybody can necessarily afford to go out, buy books, whatever the case may be, even though the books are only like $15. Sometimes you'd be amazed just the situations that people are in. So it's not doing they're not doing anything for me anymore. I've already read them. They're just sitting on my bookshelf literally right here. So like I said, definitely consider subscribing. We love to have you here. But enough of that. With that being said, hopefully you guys had a good week and an even better weekend. And it's time to make some money, right? So obviously you guys know I'm pretty much not quote-unquote trading for the time being until I finish paying off this debt here in probably less than a month now, 2 to 3 weeks. How's it going there, Josh? Good afternoon, good evening. But I'm going ahead and just getting in the mindset of how I'm probably going to be trading. Because I know that I'll be adding roughly $1,000, $1,000 to $2,000 a month into my account. So obviously I'll be trading with big money quickly, and obviously when you trade with more quote-unquote big money, you're going to be doing a lot safer trades. You're not going to be doing these high-risk, super volatile 1 week options, like 1 week calls, 1 week puts, 2 week calls, 2 week puts, etc. I might here and there once I actually do it full time, but getting started and using all that money, I'm not going to, obviously. So as you've seen from the title of the video, it's trading with under $10,000, which is obviously what I'll be doing for the first couple of months going into end of the year and early next year. So I even have some notes here, and for those of you that are in the Discord group chat, this is exactly what I posted in the Discord group chat, the screenshot of my notes for just a few iron condors I had set up. So just to put in perspective, the total cost on all these trades I'm about to show you guys is just under $7,800 after commissions, fees, everything. $7,780, and the total profit is going to be around $925 for a week. So keep that in the back of your mind. We're talking just over 10%, like 12 or 13%, which for a week is awesome, right? And we'll go over potential for profit for each of these trades. There's 4 different trades, and we'll go ahead and just start with AMD. One, because it's the one that's pulled up, and 2, I'm kind of interested in it right now. So what I'm interested in is, you can see we kind of went just below a pretty big support around 1950. We went just below it. It came right back above it. Sorry, I don't have any trend lines right now for you guys, but right around 1950 was a pretty solid support, and we broke it, came down, but then it came right back up. And for some reason, I don't know if there was some news with AMD, but I really don't care at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it's back above $20 decently. And what I had set up here, which is now gone because the app closed out on me, is an iron condor. And you guys know I love my iron condors, right? So one thing you want to pay attention to whenever you're setting up your iron condors is potential that is going to be in the money by this expiration date. So obviously I would like to do something like 17, 18, and then I want these to have like a very little chance on being in the money, right? So then what I would do is so that has less than a 10% chance. This has right around 10% chance. So you can see the potential for profit for this trade is 78%. That's definitely within my criteria. It exceeds my criteria of 70% or higher potential on profit if you hold all the way till the end. Max profit, if you got it exactly at the mid, which you're not, it'd be 12. Let's just lowball and say you get it at 10. Your max loss, you're looking at 90. So you're looking at $5.46 off of 94. And let's go ahead and get our calculator pulled back up. So you break down the math by percentages, of course. Never pay attention to the dollar amount. Divided by 94.54, you're looking at just about a 6% return for the week on that investment, which is not bad. That's over 1% a day, which is more than enough. Those of you that don't think that's enough, you have a rude awakening, but that's a whole nother topic. I have a ton of videos where I go deep into that. So the trade that I did specifically for this one, it was going, I forget the exact number, but it was going to end up costing $1,545. So that would mean that we bought roughly this many, right? Pretty close. So this is all pretty close. I think on my numbers, on my notes, I didn't adjust the midpoint or whatever. The buy point, like the price you'd actually get, how much credit you would collect. So it's $4 less, whatever. But so you're talking about $111 off of pretty much a $1,500 investment. So just keep all these numbers again in the back of your mind. So that's off one trade. And again, if you have a $10,000 account, this is going to be what, roughly 14% of your account. So it's a little more than what I would generally like off of a $10,000 or less account. You'd probably want to adjust your limit to somewhere around this. And I mean, even here, you're looking at a $64 credit off of $1,000. So you're talking at that point pretty much dead on 10%, which is still a little heavy. But at the end of the day, if the trade goes south, it's not going to burn your account up or anything, because it's still only 1/10 of your entire account. And you're still going to collect $64 just for the week on that. So this is literally, I do this stuff for fun, guys. And if you don't have fun doing stuff like this, then it's probably not even your passion, in all honesty. And it might not even be that the stock market isn't your passion, but iron condors specifically aren't. But like me, I literally go in here, I look to see if I could get it at a certain price, how much more my profit would change. I mean, I go and just calculate. I don't calculate, it does it for you, but I just go into every type of scenario, try to figure out how much money I can get off of the best percent chance of profit. It's just fun, at least to me, at the end of the day. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. Like I said, this would be roughly 10% of your account, and you would get roughly, I don't know the exact return on that one. Let's just say $64 divided by, let's just say 1,036. You're talking, again, 6% on that one. So that's not bad at all for a week. So the next one is SPY. And you're probably thinking, you're willing to do an iron condor on SPY? Yes, I am. And let's take a look. So the price that I had on my iron condors was in between the range of 271. So we're going to go ahead and go this way till we get to 271. Boom. So now we'll unselect them. And now we're going to select these guys and bring them down to 285.50. I don't think SPY is going to go that high, but it already pushed up to 281, so I just would not be surprised. So you can see your potential for profit on this one is 76%. Again, more than enough for my liking. You're talking over a 3 out of 4 chance of winning all that profit. And I like the max loss being so low still. You're not having to put up a ton of capital for that one, for one. So you can see 346 divided by your investment of 46.54, and that's almost 7.5% profit for the week. Again, not bad at all. That's almost not quite 2% a day, about 1.5% a day, something like that. So what you do, go in here, edit, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna select all these guys. We're gonna get our, how many did I say? About $1,000 worth. So again, roughly 10% of the account, right? So on roughly 10% of your account, let's just leave it here. You're talking $138 of credit that you would get. So at this point, I think it's actually about 10% return on this one. So we have 100, let's just say 139, because I mean I'm not gonna do 99 cents, divided by, and we'll say 1,061. So yeah, see on that one now you're talking 13% profit. So as you're getting more, you're saving in commissions, fees. Well, not necessarily the commissions, but you're saving on the fee side slightly, if I remember right, because your total fee is still $13.01. But at the end of the day, you have a potential, as you can see, of essentially almost doubling your profit just by getting more in quantity, so to speak, which is something I could definitely go into in another video as well, just when it comes to commissions, fees, all that good stuff, unless if I did my original calculation wrong, which I don't think I did. But so yeah, that one, roughly 10% of your account. Again, you're talking about 13% profit. And this trade, in all honesty, I would love to do. I mean, I don't think SPY's gonna, for one, I don't think SPY's gonna get above 282 this week. But again, I'd rather have, this is in the scenario that once my account gets up to around $10,000, which is going to here in the next few months, I'm literally finishing paying off debt within the next few weeks, and then we're literally going all in on the business, all in on investing. It's just all about making the money work for you. If your money's sitting in some boring ass savings account, your money's burning. It's losing value. Me, as soon as I get money, I do stuff with it. It's going somewhere. It's paying something off. It's going over here in an IRA at the bare minimum. It's going into investing. It's going into the businesses. It's going somewhere. I literally keep no money in my checking account, period. But that's a whole nother topic too. So yeah, I would love to do this trade right now, but again, it's all about being patient. But that is one that is super, has a very, very good, not only chance of profit, but you're talking a 75-76% chance on making 13% return on your money after commissions. So if you're a Robinhood person, which by the way, if you're a Robinhood person, you wouldn't get this. You'd probably get it somewhere around there, FYI, which then that brings your profit down to what, about 9%, which still isn't bad, but 9% versus 13. I'm not saying you're going to get filled at the mid. You're usually going to get filled about $1 or $2 less, but let's just look. Let's say you got filled $2 less. You're talking at that point about the same as Robinhood. So again, you just got to take each case in the scenario. I hate Robinhood. I'll never use them again when it comes to options, but that's just me. But anyways, that's a whole nother topic. So let's just go right into the next one, which is XOP. And you guys know I love my XOP. I love XOP, right? So with XOP, and I didn't even break down SPY. I just told you guys what I was planning on doing. So SPY, as you can see, I said 271 mostly because I think we're going to find some pretty solid support right around 273. In all honesty, you can see it held as a pretty good support for a while, and then we crushed down even further. We got rejected right above it. I think we will. Obviously, the market's been super volatile, so we got up to like 276, but then it came crashing back down to 270. So I was like, just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna say, I would say like 271, as you can see right there. So 271 was my low end, and then what I say 285.50 was my high end. So I mean, you're talking about right here. I just don't see it filling this gap up to 287 this week personally. Could it? Of course. Do I think so? No. And that trade, and of course, you guys know I like looking at my 4-hour indicator as well as my 1-hour indicator, which is just now starting to show that the quote-unquote selling for this little pullback. Obviously, we've had a major pullback here the last few weeks, but we've had a little pullback here the last few days. The 1 hour chart is showing the selling is just now getting ready to end, so we're probably going to sell just a little bit more down to probably 275, and then we'll probably start going higher. But I don't think we're going to go past 281 this week. But again, always buy the extra insurance. 285.50. I mean, you can't even hardly see that on this 1 hour chart. Buy the extra premium, buy the extra insurance, collect more profit at the end of the day. All about collecting just consistent profit. That was 13% profit, and you're, again, 76% chance on collecting 13% profit. Who would not take those chance and odds, right? So, like I said, let's hop into XOP. XOP, as we know, by looking at the 180-day chart, it's really for a long time traded in between $40 and $45, and now oil is finally going back into bearish territory. I'm honestly a little more bearish on oil now. I would not be surprised if by the end of the month we test the 180-day low of around $33, but it held pretty well above 34, so for now 34 is a pretty solid support. So what I did was I had and I actually did do this on my support. I made 33 my support, like the lowest that I thought it was going to go. So what we did was, so we did this like that, and then I did on the upside, I did 38. So I bet it a little bearish because I'm bearish on oil overall. I think personally tomorrow it's probably going to open pretty low. I think we might have a solid 2% up day, but I think overall oil is probably going to go down another 1 to 2% this week personally. But again, I'm buying a little, 17% chance of being in the money. That's low enough for me. If you really wanted to, you could go lower, but also you still want to try to collect some good premium. But even this one, I mean, you're talking roughly 5% profit on this trade, and you're buying a little more insurance, pushing it up to $38.50. 84% chance of profit. You're still talking 78, which again is more than enough for me. 78% chance of profit. You can see we would collect 746 off of 92.54. If we want to break down the exact return, rate of return after fees and commissions, you're talking just off of this one tiny position alone, you are talking 8%, just over 8%, 8.05% profit, 0.06% profit. So, I think, let me see, how much money did I save for this one? Almost 3,000. So on this one, I was getting a little more hefty. Why? Because I know oil and I was super confident. This is a little bit more of a hefty trade. I would not suggest you do this trade unless if obviously you were as confident in it as me, but to each their own. I said about $3,000 on this trade. So what was it to be exact? About $29.62. So somewhere around here. Pretty damn close. So off of just under $3,000, we would collect $338 after all commissions and fees. So again, by submitting this big order, 296, let's just say 62, we're saving a little bit money on the fee side, and I think some on the commission side too, if I recall. We go from 8% to almost 11.5%. So this just goes to show that once you start using bigger money, I mean, $3,000 in the stock market world is absolutely nothing, guys. But I know for 99% of you, I know for me, it's a big lump of money. I mean, $3,000, that's going to take me roughly 2 months here in the next month or so to get into my account, because like I said, I'll be investing $1,000 to $2,000, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on what I'm doing each month, every single month. But $3,000 at the end of the day really isn't a lot. But you can see how just from going from a tiny $92 investment to $3,000, you literally add almost 3.5% profit to your like net after commission, fees, and everything, which makes a huge difference, especially when it comes to taxes, everything like that. Whole nother subject, but still, we went from 8.06% profit to 11.42, essentially 11.42% profit, just based off of doing a bigger trade. And again, this trade is roughly 29% of a $10,000 account, which is a little hefty in all honesty. I probably in the actual, like in real life, once I get to that point, I probably wouldn't do quite that much. And again, this is based all off of if you get that actual price point, you're probably going to get somewhere around here, which you're still talking, let's see, 272 divided by 3,027. So that's talking 9% at that point, which is more realistic, which is still not a bad rate of return, by the way. But the trade that I would probably do, in all honesty, especially if we're talking the $10,000 account, which we're talking about here, 10,000 or less, the most I would probably ever do is probably about 17% of my account. So as you can see on this one, you're talking pretty much, what, 10% return on this one? $189 divided by 1,811, essentially. And again, this is in a perfect world where you get to hold it till expiration, which is obviously the end goal. I don't want to have to pay more in fees on the closing end. I just want to let everything expire worthless, collect my full premium every Friday, and collect it like a paycheck, essentially. So yeah, you're talking 10.4% profit still at that point, which is awesome. Over 2% a day. Let me get a quick drink. My throat's been itching today. IV rank is obviously still pretty high on oil too. XOP, like oil in general, I mean, if we hop over to Gush, for those of you that are into Gush, you can see IV rank if it'll load. I don't know why it's not loading IV. But either way, IV on oil-based ETFs and whatnot generally are pretty high. If I remember right, even in the summer when oil was just kind of doing this, as you all can see on our Thinkorswim, it was just kind of doing this. Even then, the IV on XOP was like in the 50s, 40s. So IV is generally pretty high, which means you're going to be able to collect more premium, which is obviously very good for those of us that trade iron condors, or even those of you that do vertical spreads, because that's what iron condors are at the end of the day, is a bullish and bearish vertical spread put together, essentially. For those of you that are new, you don't need to worry about those terms right now. Just focus on basics for sure. But point being, XOP tends to be a pretty good one, just from everything that I've learned, read, and just my personal experience. XOP just tends to be a pretty good, not just for iron condors either, but for call buyers, put buyers. I mean, the premiums, they're high, but they tend to pay out too. You guys remember back in May or June, I had a time where I couldn't close the day trade because I'd already done 3 day trades on Robinhood, and I could not close that day trade, and luckily I didn't, because I like ended up having 100% return on that one. It was like one of my biggest profits on a trade. It was like $500-600 on some XOP puts that I had. It just got so high and then it just dropped. But anyways, XOP is a really good one if you're looking to get into any kind of options. But for iron condor specifically, this is going to be one of the ones that it'll probably be my main income source, in all honesty, unless if something crazy happens. But the last one is Apple. We talked about Apple last week, and man, I was just itching I was just sitting there thinking, essentially, man, if only I was where I know I'm going to be at a few months from now today, the money I would have made on Apple iron condors. Because as you guys remember, those of you that were tuning into last week's Sunday Stock Watch, I said, let's go ahead and set up an iron condor. It was something like this, 215 to 197.50, and the max profit was 39. The max loss was only actually like 193 at that point. But even right now, look at our potential for profit. 73% your max profit's $39. Your max loss is $211. After fees and commissions, you're talking almost $35 off of a $215 investment, which isn't bad. It's like 15% or something like that, 13 to 20, somewhere in there. But the amount that I had on this one was going to be roughly $2,100. So again, look at this. Potential of being in the money, less than 5%. Potential of being in the money, above 80%. Like to see that. So what I'm going to do, again, is just go, and let's be realistic and say we get like 37. So this is pretty close. So $2,130. Actually, that's not quite where it was. Let's do this. There we go. So almost $300 off of almost a $2,000 investment. Let's do. I exit out the calculator. Why did I do that? $292.10. Let's just say 292 divided by, let's just say 1958. Round up. Boom. 15% profit in 1 week. Now, obviously, 197 could be slightly on the high end for the bear side. If we go take a look at Apple right now, it's going to get really close probably to 195. As you can see here, it dropped down to like 198. I still think max pain is 195 in all honesty. I think there's going to be some solid support right around maybe even 192.50. Between 192.50 and 195. Do I think it's going to happen this week? Who knows? I mean, we're pretty much $30 off all-time highs. If I remember right, it dropped briefly all the way down to 198.50 or something, which is like, what, $35 or $36 off all-time high, something like that. But the thing that I'm intrigued about is that on our 4-hour chart, it's showing it's just now getting ready to start selling a little bit more when we look at our MACD indicator. And the 1-hour chart shows kind of the inverse. So that is why, like, short term, you guys know I love the 1-hour chart more than anything. It's what I tend to use for like a couple days out. And that is why I went ahead and just settled with the 197.50, because I think 198 acted as a pretty decent support this last week. So that is why, with that being said, I went ahead and chose 197.50. But if we were trying to be super safe, you're going to have to put up a lot more premium. As you can see, our premium, a lot more collateral. It almost doubled. But our potential for profit went up almost 10%. And then, of course, you could sit here and be like, well, I don't think it's going up to 215, Griffin. Well, okay, you can go ahead and bring this down some. But, I mean, at the end of the day, that's still a little over 10% of profit. Potential for profit's still high. If we take a look at that, you're over 10% profit still, which isn't bad. But you're putting up $4,000 on this specific trade. And then, obviously, of course, we could play with all of it, right? We could just bring it down some. At this point, we're talking pretty much 10 to 11% profit. So like I said, I mean, you can just literally, I do this for at least an hour, 2 hours, sometimes more hours a day. I just kind of get on here. I take a look at certain stocks that I've been paying attention to, which is mostly Apple, XOP, SPY. Occasionally you have some like AMD. And stuff like that in there that's kind of just been trading a little sideways lately that I threw in there for today for you guys. Another one that I've been kind of intrigued on is Walmart, though if I remember right, Walmart hasn't really been too volatile. Earnings is coming up too, so that's something to watch. But if I recall, Walmart, yeah, the IV, I mean, it's 43, so I mean, it's not too low. But I mean, if we wanted to really take a look at it, just take a look at recent trends. This is the 20-day, 180-day shows consistent up. I want to pay attention to right here. I would say 102. Nah, I wouldn't even say 102. I'll just say 103 to like 107. Let's just say 108 even to be safe. So if we really wanted to be safe, we could go out like this. And then, like I said what, 103 or something like that. Let's just say 102, buy us a little bit more. How's it going there? Went heavy on Roku. Hey, I bought a little bit of Roku in my IRA as well. I bought it near the lows on Friday, first thing around like 9-10 o'clock Central Time in the morning. I got it for like, what I say, 43.19 or something. I don't know. All I know is I'm up a little bit on that position right now. But yeah, I mean, Roku has just dropped a lot. I mean, how much has it dropped total? I mean, it's dropped a lot. I mean, it's still dropped. Yeah, I'm up, like I said, about $1 or so on that position total. But in all honesty, my target sell is 50. I mean, if it goes above 50, good. But I think there's going to be a strong enough resistance there where I'm just not going to want to put up with it. So if it can get up to $50, I'll get out. But yeah, I took a small. I only bought a couple shares within my IRA account. But yeah, that one is one that I was watching, and yeah, I think it'll bounce back too. But I just don't want to ride the. I'm not really going to be staying in anything super long term, just because I'm in the camp of people that think here within the next 1 to 2 years, we're gonna kind of start watching the entire economy, quote unquote, roll over. It's not like conspiracy theory or anything. It's just, let's be real, we've kind of been in an upward pattern for 8 to 10 years now. So I mean, it's coming. It's just a matter of when. Yeah, I mean, we're probably closer to it than further from it, if you ask me. Doesn't mean that I would not say to hold anything, but I just personally am not holding anything longer than weeks or a few months, personally. But yeah, I mean, it was super attractive to me. It's still $33, $34 off all-time highs. So, I mean, you're talking almost 50% off of all-time highs, like 30-40%. So, yeah, awesome buying opportunity there, if you ask me personally. No, I don't short. I mean, like, sometimes I do puts where I'll buy, but no, I don't short. I do, as a lot of you know, mostly all I do anymore is just the whole Iron Condor game, which is what I'm about to talk about a little bit here some more. But, I mean, they're just short-term, 5-day Iron Condors where I just collect the premium every week. That my trades actually go good. But, so this one, for example, let's just go ahead and see what this does. Yeah, no. That's why I don't want to do that. So this has a decent chance of actually being in the money. 33%, so it's a little high. And you got to keep in mind, too, that Walmart, I thought they said earnings were coming up. Oh, this is Roku. So their last earnings report, so they did good. And in all honesty, I think Walmart's going to have another good earnings report for, I believe this is Q3, right? Q3 earnings. I think they're going to be pretty decent too. They've really stepped up their game in the online, like their online presence. So in all honesty, I don't know about this specific trade. The fact that it's making me go up to 115 and 110, that's why it's costing so much. But the potential for profit's still not good. Yeah, I don't know. I personally don't really like this trade. I don't know why it's making me go by 5 after 108, but whatever. Like I said, this is why for the most part I just stick with what I know, which is XOP, Apple, SPY, occasionally AMD, just a few here and there. But as for Walmart as a whole, I think it's too late to invest in. I had actually mentioned it to some of my family members back when it was near $90, $95. I was like, Walmart's still pretty cheap right now. It's always a good stock to buy when you're going into later half of the year, because Q3 earnings tend to be pretty well. Guidance tends to be pretty well with Christmas season coming up. And then Q4 earnings are usually pretty awesome. Well, I wouldn't say awesome, but they're good enough. And you'd probably see at least a 10% return on your money. And sure enough, I mean, from 95, let's say you cashed out right now, you're talking about $11 profit divided by 95. That's almost 12% return on your money. So if any of them listen, they made a little bit of money. I didn't invest in Walmart, I'm not going to lie. But I just think it's too late now. But let's check our stream really quick. We got 3 of you tuning in. Hopefully you guys are having a great Sunday. Have had a great weekend as well. And like I said, we're coming up on 500 subscribers pretty quick. So if you know anyone that's just into joining like community, a bunch of like-minded individuals, not even just about stock market, but about achieving financial freedom and finding your passions. If we get up to 500 subscribers before New Year, so we have about a month and a half, just over a month and a half, I'm going to select somebody that's active in the chat. I'll do a specific stream for it, and I'll send you both. This book's actually free. You can go to Grant Cardone's website and get it for free. He makes you pay for shipping, but that's it. It's just a little booklet, his booklet called The Millionaire Booklet. And then I'm also going to send Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk, which is an awesome book. I'll send it to somebody right as we go into New Year's to start your 2019 off right with some good solid information. It's all about learning at the end of the day. And I mean, those 2 books, I mean, the Millionaire Booklet, it's like a 40-page little thin book, so that's why it's called a booklet. But a lot of good little information in there, and obviously Gary Vaynerchuk is always full of good information in his books. And I just thought it'd be a cool thing to do, just because, in all honesty, the books are just sitting on my bookshelf collecting dust at this point. So it's all about just trying to help everybody out at the end of the day. I know that some people can't necessarily afford to go buy books and whatnot, because those 2 books combined after the shipping and everything cost me like $20. So, I mean, $20 to you might not mean much, but $20 to some people means putting gas in their car at the end of the day. So it's just all about helping people, and it'll be holiday season and whatnot. So if we can get to 500 subscribers before New Year's, I'll be sure to ship that book out to somebody, those books out to somebody by New Year's. So like I said, if you know anyone that's looking to join a community, a bunch of like-minded individuals, definitely share any video with them that you think they might like, or share the channel in general, or anything. Just like I said, if you want that book, just let me know. And if you're new to the channel, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button. Obviously, we'd love to have you here. And while you're at it, go ahead and check out our Discord group chat. Everything with me is totally free. That link is, I think, one of the first in the description box. There's like I said, 30-40 of us in there. It's awesome to just communicate with a bunch of like-minded individuals. We're all about making money and trying to just pursue that financial freedom and not have to go to a job at the end of the day. And also just have the freedom to just do, quote-unquote, what you want at the end of the day. Obviously, you have to be responsible, but let's be real. Life would be all this would be a lot easier if you didn't have to go to a job every day. So that's what we're all about for those of you who are new. I'll just check on the stream one last time. But yeah, so like I said, overall, if you're wondering just kind of what the overall numbers were, if you weren't keeping track, our average potential for profit on those iron condors that I mentioned, the AMD, the SPY, the XOP, and the Apple ones, the average potential for profit was around 76%. The lowest one being Apple at like 73%. And the highest one, if I remember right, being XOP at like 83 or 84%. And your total cost is, like I said, right around $7,800. And your total profit would have been right around $925 for the week. So you're talking, I don't know why I keep exiting the calculator out, but you're talking $925 a week. You take that times 4 weeks. Let's say you made that every single week, not including compounding, adding that to your account, all that stuff. If at the bare minimum you just made $925 a week, you make $3,700 a month. Obviously, you guys know that I say you should only, quote-unquote, keep. Say you wanted to start making this your income, keep about 65% of that. You're talking $2,400 a month, which, I mean, isn't, like, huge money or anything. I mean, you take that times 12 months. If you literally just wanted to live off that, you'd still make just under $30,000 a year. That would replace quite a bit of America's income, in all honesty. So if people just learn the basics of trading, trading iron condors, trading vertical spreads, trading options, swing trading, day trading, all that stuff, you could replace probably about half of America's jobs. But obviously the end goal is to do a lot more. If you guys want, I mean, I'm not going to go into it in this video, but we could literally just do a video of how much money it truly takes to do this full time. And now obviously I don't do this full time, but I already know, most of you that have been watching multiple streams know when I expect to quit my job, how much money I plan on having in my trading account, how much money I plan on having set aside in my quote-unquote emergency fund. You guys know, like, I don't like keeping money, but at the end of the day, when you have a business and it's your income, you need a cushion at least for whenever you have bad weeks, bad months, because bills still have to be paid at the end of the day. I'll just say pretty much total, I'm one to have between $50,000 to $100,000 total savings and investing before I do it all full time, which will be within the next 2 years. Do you have? No, absolutely not. I hate crypto as an investment. I like crypto as an idea. I like blockchain. But as an investment, absolutely not. I wouldn't touch it with somebody else's money. Because, I mean, there's nothing backing it. So, and even, like I said, even the stocks that I'm invested in, I don't trust them 100%. Businesses come and go. Look at Yahoo. Look at AOL. I mean, I don't think AOL was ever a public company, but just look at all these companies that just come and go, come and go, Look at JCPenney. I mean, companies come and go, which is why I don't. That's where I kind of disagree with Warren Buffett on the whole buy and hold forever. I get the idea, but at some point, you got to cash in on the profits. And I mean, obviously there's people that make a shit ton of money on crypto. It's just not my thing. I don't have a passion for it. That's one of the things I stress the most. If you don't, Sears, I forgot about them. That's a stock to short. But Toys R Us, yep. I mean, you could just go on. And I mean, here in the next 20, 30 years, Amazon will be out. Google will be out. Apple will for sure be out. Apple's already starting to kind of just start hitting a crossroad where they're going to have to create something innovative, or they're going to be the next Nokia. Nokia's another one. But, I mean, things just change all the time. Like Google's probably not even going to be here 25, 50 years from now. There'll be something else. Amazon, there'll be something else. There's always going to be something else that's undercutting everything else. The next big thing, so to speak. Uber won't be here probably 50 years from now. It'll be something else. There'll be a automated Uber or something. Some company with automated like they pick you up in automated vehicles or something. But yeah, Facebook. I think Facebook's gonna be the first one to go. In all honesty, that's just me. Facebook and Instagram. I think those will be the first two. Everybody hates on Twitter, but I think Twitter is gonna end up coming out on top over Facebook and Instagram. That's just my personal input on that. I don't care either way, but YouTube even. I mean, like, YouTube probably won't even be here. I say in the next 20 years. I think YouTube will be old news 10, 20 years from now. There's always something at the end of the day. But yeah, as for crypto, it's gonna be a while before I even look. I mean, you guys know way back in April. Maybe March, April. I kind of played around with crypto more so in the evening, overnight, whenever I couldn't trade stocks. I would make $1 here, $2. That just nothing. It just wasn't worth the time. And like I said, it's just not a passion of mine. I strongly believe in doing stuff you have a passion for. That's the only way you'll ever stay at anything. It's like a job. If you hate your job, if you literally wake up just hating life, you're not going to perform as well, and you're not going to stay there very long. Like me, though there's stuff in my job that I absolutely hate, that I despise, that I voice my opinion on over and over in my job, I still like it. I enjoy it. I enjoy the freedom that I have in my job for the most part. I enjoy that I'm pretty much not capped whatsoever with how much money I can make. I could make $2,400 if I wanted, or I could make $10,000 if I wanted. I mean, there's no cap at the end of the day. That's the beauty of having a job that pays you production and commission. But that's a whole nother subject. But yeah, no, I could go on and on about crypto, but absolutely not. And just briefly, I just want to mention UGAS and DGAS for a minute, because I know there's a lot of people that are just amazed and just think, man, UGAS has to come down. DGAS has to go back up, right? Right? No. We're going into natural gas season. What does that mean? UGAS up, DGAS down. Now, does that mean that DGAS won't come back up to $10, $12 and kind of just have these up and downs and whatnot, like kind of maybe pop up to 15 for 1 week? Because as you know, there's a natural gas report every week, just like there is for oil. I should probably trade DGAS and UGAS a lot more than I do, since kind of like how I do oil, but it's just not my thing. But I've heard a lot of people in the last couple weeks have just lost their ass on DGAS because they keep thinking that it's going to come back. I mean, I compare it to XOP. We'll have to go out to 1 year on that. I keep comparing it to XOP and what's that one? DRIP. Everyone kept thinking, man, DRIP has to go back up. And eventually, yes, it will. But whenever you keep seeing shortages in the oil, like in the numbers, like there's less being produced than what's expected, the price of oil is going to go up, which means what? The price of DRIP is going to keep going down. So now that oil outputs are like double from what it sounded like than were expected. If I remember it was like 5.5 million barrels versus 2.2 million expected, something like that. They might even have it listed here. No, nothing. What about XOP? Or here, let's look at oil futures. And oil, what'd I say? Oil might go down another 1 to 2% this week. It's already trying to do that today. Wow. It's good for gas prices. But let's see here. OPEC. See, I mean, like I said, I just know a lot about oil, which is why I stick with XOP and all that the most. 40% stake. I don't care about that. Venezuela says it may boost production by 500,000 barrels a day. So, I mean, you're talking another 2.5 million barrels a week added. Man, they don't have it here, but I could have sworn it was CNBC who reported that there were like 5.5 million barrels produced versus 2.2 million expected, something like that, which is just going to crush the price of oil, guys. So, what does that mean? XOP and gush down, drip up. So, I mean, when it comes to the natural gas, the oils, the gold, you have to pay attention. I don't know about gold, actually. I don't know anything about gold. But as for natural gas and oil, like those ETFs, inverse ETFs, you have to pay attention to the weekly reports. And, like, just always be looking at the news surrounding it. Because if you don't, you're going to get smashed. Like I said, I just wanted to hit on it because I heard a lot of people have been losing money on DGAS thinking that it just has to go back up. And I hate to tell you, it doesn't. Just because the chart shows it, charts in all honesty don't mean... I mean, they mean a little, especially when it comes to XOP, of course. I mean, XOP's kind of just traded in these two ranges for the last 1 to 2 years now. But at the end of the day, it's all about the numbers. It's all about the production. And being that you get that weekly report every single Thursday, I think it is for natural gas. And I forget oils. Oils is Friday, I believe. Thursday or Friday. Later on in the week. Either way. Once a week, you know you're going to get these reports. You got to pay attention to them, guys. That was just one thing. I almost forgot to mention that. I just know I'd hate to see people lose money. And especially whenever they don't understand what they're investing in. That's why I always say, do not invest in something you don't understand. I've done it. It's cost me hundreds of dollars, and I don't want to see people go through that same thing because I know for some people, you lose a couple $100, you're just going to give up on the stock market. I know I have viewers personally who I've even reached out to a couple because they used to be super active in Discord, and I was like, hey, you still trading? They were like, man, I'm still recovering after this loss. And I was like, man, come on, dude. Let's just brush it off. We just got to learn. Just do not let a big loss Do not make it push you out of the market. Just take it as a learning experience. Just see, I look at it, I tell people when I lose money in the stock market, it's my tuition. Because I'm always learning something. Being I didn't go to college, I went to college for 1 semester, paid a waste of $5-7 grand doing that BS. I look at the losses in the stock market as tuition because I always take a lesson out of every single loss. I'm like, I didn't think about that. And then I write a mental note and I write a note in a journal. I do not forget any loss. I can go back to when I lost a ton on DRIP, JDST, JNUG, HMNY, Acre, BPM. I mean, I could list every single stock that I've lost money on. So do not, if there's one thing I could just suggest is do not let a big loss force you out of the market. You can make serious money in the market. You just have to look at each loss as a lesson and make sure you do not repeat that, or else you're just, one, going to keep losing money, and two, you're going to end up just hurting your overall confidence, and then obviously you will get out of the market. I just want to get all that off my chest because, like I said, that's what we're all about at the end of the day. It's all about helping one another. We're all about making money at the end of the day. What about that Snapchat call that I called out? What was it, last week or the week before? I said, man, Snapchat is really attractive right now, right around $5-6. And if I remember right, it actually went up to like $7.29 on Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. Thursday, Friday, yeah, Wednesday. So if you had gotten in around $6 and you sold, let's just say it's $7, I mean, you're talking $1 profit divided by 6. You're talking 16-17% profit in a few days. So that was an awesome call out, but like I said, I wouldn't consider holding that super long term or anything. I'm not considering holding anything super long term, though I do love me some SiriusXM. I like that they pay a small dividend just to hold their stock, and the stock is super cheap, and it's really not too volatile, and I'm up a couple percent on that right now. So let me just check our stream before we start wrapping up. We've been on for almost an hour. It's already going on 4 p.m. Central Time. So like I said, hopefully you guys did enjoy this stream. If you did, definitely make sure to smash that like button. I greatly appreciate that. And I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support you've given the channel, especially over this last year since I started uploading stock market videos and doing live stock market trading with you guys and all that good stuff. Like I said, it's awesome to see. Awesome to see we have almost 425, getting closer to 500 subscribers day by day. And like I said, I'm not trying to push this too much or anything, but if we get to 500, somebody's gonna walk home. Somebody's gonna end up getting these on their doorstep. So, like I said, if you know anybody, just always feel free to share anything on Facebook if you like any of the videos and whatnot. And like I said, if you haven't already, definitely consider joining our Discord group chat. It's the easiest way to reach me, and you can also network with about 40 individuals in there as well. But I think that's about it. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your weekend and have a good upcoming week. I'm probably going to have a video uploaded again this Wednesday around 6 p.m. Central Time. And like I said, I'm going to try to go live once or twice throughout the week as well, depending on what time I get off work and whatnot. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there making those profits, covering your profits, and achieving some financial freedom this year. And I will see you guys hopefully in the next few days, if not on that Wednesday premiere video that'll be coming out. Take it easy, guys.